I'm playing Michi, the terrain, against AI on Extreme, the hardest level. I'm Portuguese and they are the Turks. And I'm trying to win with just my Bombard Cannons. So I made a bunch of siege workshops. Now I'm using the Fetorias for resources. Now you can see I just got completely obliterated. What I discovered is that the Bombard Cannons are not good at hitting moving targets. And they also aren't that accurate. And as a result, they destroyed their own siege workshops. So here's the red, the enemy, and I'm the blue. Just getting obliterated. So that was a bad choice. I thought for some reason that the Bombard Cannons don't suffer from friendly fire, like with an Onager, how an Onager can kill your troops too. I know with Scorpions, you don't seem to suffer from friendly fire. Anyway, they're just destroying. Now I'm using playing with the Portuguese because they have the unique building, the Feitoria, which gives them resources, food, stone, wood, and gold. So it's a nice way to get infinite resources. And I had, at some point, 25 of those. Here is actual speed, 1x speed. And you can see how my own cannonballs are destroying my own buildings, shooting at the enemy. And that's one reason why the buildings are disappearing so quickly. I'm destroying my own siege workshops with my Bombard Cannons. Now these guys are flooding in one at a time. They are the elite Tarkin, and the Bombard Cannons just can't hit them. They're not great at hitting moving targets. And the elite Tarkins just come right up to the Bombard Cannons and just kill them outright. So this was a huge mismatch. And my buildings are just getting evaporated. Total disaster, total failure. So what I did is I reset the game back to a previous save, and instead of making Bombard Cannons, instead I tried to win with like 400 Scorpions. The problem with that, Portuguese don't get the heavy Scorpion, and the regular Scorpion is pretty lightweight. It looks like they're doing a lot of damage, but they're not really. It takes forever to take out a castle. So here's the Scorpion game overview. And I was able to punch through. And actually, you can see I'm making progress here. But I ran out of wood, because the Scorpions were just getting destroyed, and they came back and they wiped me out. So I ended up using my villagers to build another army, which we'll see later, and I actually won in the long run, but not with the Scorpions. So here I am trying to soften the army. They can't come through. It does look like the trees are chopped, but they're not fully chopped. And the army can't come through yet. It took about a half hour to take down this castle, believe it or not. And you can see the pounding it's taking. But these Scorpions are not the heavy Scorpions. And eventually I could take down a castle, but it takes a long time, and a lot of my Scorpions got destroyed. So here is my Scorpions just getting wiped out. And it looks like I have a lot of Scorpions and I can just evaporate their buildings and just roll over them and destroy, but like I said, it takes like half an hour to destroy a castle. And in the meantime, their armies are coming and attacking my scorpions and destroying my scorpions. Those elite Tarkans. So I'm losing a lot of scorpions. It's just not a great way to do it. And I run out of wood. And so all of my scorpions get destroyed. And then they come and they start destroying my siege workshops. And I finally decide, you know, I can't win this with scorpions, so I start making villagers. And the first thing I do is I start building some bombard towers around my Fatorias to protect my resources. But here you can see I can't really attack the castle because I have to continually attack these elite Tarkans that come down and are just wiping out my scorpions. Now, if these were heavy scorpions, this would be a different story. If you look at my wood, I'm running out of wood here. So this is a losing battle. This is not going to work. And so once I run out of scorpions, the elite Tarkans come over and just start wiping out my siege workshops. And just like before, they're gonna wipe up everything. But in the corner, I have one town center, and I start making villagers and popping up those towers, which I'll show later. And they notice that, and I wasn't done building my wall, and they come running over to kill me, but they get wiped out by my castle and my bombard towers. And I'm able to build up a cavalry, and I create some bombard cannons, which are a nice combination. So here they are coming to kill me, but they get wiped out by my bombard towers. So then I decide to build some new bombard towers and a wall, and then build some more Fatorias. I think 7 more, because I want to make sure I have enough resources for the attack. Here we're going to see I'm building up. I should have focused on building the wall first in hindsight, because if I had the wall, they wouldn't have been able to come kill off my villagers. But instead I was focusing on towers and castles, and they were able to wipe out my villagers. Which is fine, because I had enough food to make more, and the bombard towers took them out. I'm lucky they didn't go and destroy my one and only town center. That would have been a disaster. I would have had no town center and no villagers. So I go back and I finish the wall and finish some towers, and then build some more Fatorias. And then I build some cavalry, some stables, and I do have some siege workshops left over, so I crank out some bombard cannons and then head in for the revenge, the comeback. I kind of like these games where I get destroyed but then pull off a comeback. So I'm not able to build the stables where I wanted because there was a little army over here, so I lured them in to my 4 bombard cannons to wipe them out. The villagers jump into the towers for protection. So now I build some stables. And then I built some castles because I was thinking I needed trebuchets to take out because they have so many castles. But it turns out that if you have 10 or 12 bombard cannons, that's enough. You don't really need trebuchets. And the nice thing about bombard cannons is they can continually move. You don't have to pack and unpack like the trebuchets. Trebuchets probably pack more of a punch, but if you get enough of these bombard cannons, they will just disintegrate the castle pretty quickly and other buildings as well. And they're just more maneuverable. And as long as you protect them, because they are vulnerable to cavalry, anything that can come up to them and attack them directly, they're vulnerable to. So, and the thing about the cavalry is they get wiped out by a castle. So it's a nice combination. You got the bombard cannons taking out the castles, and I've got the cavalry taking out the villagers and protecting the bombard cannons, and victory here.